What's up, fellow fantasy-loving friends? This is Josh from RSMP Tabletop, and I'm beyond excited because today's video is sponsored by 5 Star Games in West Springfield, Massachusetts. Chad's not only the tournament organizer over there, but he's also one of the best painters around. And I know he just cringed super hard when he heard me say that, but it's absolutely true. We're getting ready to play some Kill Team, and I had an orc army that I wanted painted up, so I reached out to Chad, and he agreed to help.
Cool. So, how's it going? We're doing a little miniature painting here for Josh at RSMP Tabletop, and got a squad of orcs, which I believe are from the starter set from Kill Team. So, I personally use a dry brush technique, which I prime everything in black. I did do a slight overspray afterwards with the white scar from Citadel from the top. And these are the end results after that. These have been attached to the base by Josh, and we did a little bit of basing work on there to give it a little bit more flavor. But we're just gonna dive in and start painting. One thing I do like about these minis, I've noticed they got a lot of detail on them, so it's kind of hard to figure out which one to start with. They all have their own little neat flavor going on. Orcs are orcs. So, you know what? I'm gonna start with this dude here with the 2 knives and the knife in his mouth. It looks like he's hungry to eat a grenade. I don't know. I've never done the white overspray after the black priming, so just so you know, this is a first for me. I've also never been filmed while painting. I've taught plenty of people how to paint and paint well, but I've never done it via the internet, so this is also a first for me. So hope I don't talk too much or talk too little, but my philosophy is everybody can paint. Never used this little handle doodad, which is a neat little thing from Citadel. It does seem to help hold the miniature while you're painting, so that's a first. If I seem a little bit out of the element, I haven't painted in a while either, so I'm going to kick off some rust here today. So I've really been trying to think about what paint scheme I want to go with, and I normally only paint one miniature at a time. I know a lot of people with Warhammer, they're painting like the whole squad at the same time, and there aren't any sponsors currently for the paint and stuff. So I'm just using whatever paint I have. I've got some paint here from Citadel, of course, which I've also never used Citadel paint. Shame on me. I do have some army painter paint as well. I've got some craft paint that you pick up at any hobby or craft store. So I'm just gonna do what seems to work. I always like to start by painting the eyes first, and I guess you got to figure out what color are the eyes going to be. And I'm referring to like the whites of the eyes in those cases. And in this case, I'm going to try a little bit of yellow. The reason why I paint the eyes first is because if you get it all over the eyelids and the cheeks, when you go to paint the skin, you can tighten them up, make any mistake look like it never even happened. So don't use a lot of paint, just kind of get it in there. Again, with everything primed black, I know all the colors are going to be a little bit darker than what they normally would be. If you've done this before, you know what I'm talking about. Again, the eyes are a lot bigger than what they will be. I'm also using a Citadel brush, which I've never used a Citadel brush before, so we'll see how that works. I normally just use a high quality brush. I know that Citadel brushes fall into that category, so we'll see. Yeah, also I don't have any palette. Some people I know use wet palettes from what I've heard. Some people use dry palettes. I normally just paint on newspaper. Again, I'm using a dry brushing technique, so I don't want a lot of moisture or water in the brush or in the paint. So I normally, after I get the paint onto the brush, I normally wipe it off, the excess, onto the newspaper, so that I don't have any additional paint on the brush, which hopefully lets you get what detail you need onto the unit, or whatever it is you're painting. So again, I have never painted Warhammer Orks, so I'm just kind of going with the flow on what's what. I don't know if you can see that or not, but eyes are dotted. One eye is a lot bigger than what it's going to be because it's just the first pass there. But we'll once we paint the face and the eyelids, it'll figure that out. It'll clean up. So now that I have the eyes painted, I'm going to go in and do the teeth, because once I do the face paint or paint the skin or start painting the skin, I want everything that's under the skin to be done. So orc teeth are probably not going to be that clean, but I'm going to start them off with a white. Again, this the color, the paint, it's going to come out not very bright because of the black priming. This guy has like a dagger in his teeth. I get a little bit of hair sticking out. I'm just gonna mess with the detail. Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of got a dagger stuck in his mouth, like a rose and one of those fancy dances there. What's that fancy dance there with the guy?
Tango?
There you go. This guy's codenamed Tango.
I feel like that's what I like about Kill Team 2 being a little bit more smaller and a little bit more personable. You really actually can name your guys and get more out of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I was trying to think, earlier I started to mention like what color scheme am I gonna use? You know, am I gonna paint the conventional green skinned orcs? Is it gonna be something different? Somebody told me there's a purple orc. Those are the most sneaky because people will say, have you ever seen a purple orc? And they say no, and that's because they're so sneaky. I don't know, I'm just learning as I go here. Just pulled out some skeleton bone. There's going to be like an ivory, which I'm sure is very close to wreath bone from Citadel. Just gonna touch up those teeth with a little bit of the orc. You see, he's not going to have all these white teeth, so get a little bit of dirty on there. All right, so eyes done, teeth done. I think I'm gonna probably have to, not that I normally would, I think I'm gonna have to go in and do that. You know what? No, I'll do the knife after. All right, so it looks like I'm moving on to flesh. So I have some actual Citadel waaagh flesh, if I pronounce that right, which looks a little bit darker, a deeper green. It's definitely not like bright Kermit the Frog green. Never opened these pots before, so okay, there we go. guess I can keep doing that. I've never had that before. Alright, so pot is open. Alright, so this guy's got quite a bit of flesh showing. He is wearing a shirt, so I'm just doing a double check on him so I can figure out what's covered with the clothing and what isn't. He does look like he's got on a shirt, suspenders, pants. It's a sleeve shirt, so his forearms are going to be flesh, and his head and face, that's about it. So, gonna jump in here with this flesh tone. Actually, it would look kind of cool if we had like one buggy eye open. Which you can do whatever you want in your happy little world, as Bob Ross would say. I think anything with Orcs, there's no wrong way to do it because it's Orcs. If you're building a vehicle and then you drop it and it breaks, okay, boom. That's an Orky thing.
Now, when you paint, do you try to be more technical, or do you go more by feeling and what you think just looks right?
Just feeling. I mean, I'll look at the box and see how it's painted, but if I have a different idea, I got a dragon over there that they painted blue, that in the box it was supposed to be like black and orange. I'm not gonna go crazy with I'm gonna go back and highlight this flesh afterwards anyway, so. I'm used to just painting over black, so this painting on white's like different for me. But
You like need more work?
I don't know, it just depends on the results when I'm done, I guess. I mean, I understand why they do it, you know, to get a brighter color. And before I would just prime it in black and then I'd paint white where I wanted it to be brighter, and then I'd go through and do the colors. So in a way I'd kind of do the same thing, just different. I feel with painting you have more control painting it on, because right now there's a lot more shadows that would be there if everything was black. But when you paint the white, then again, a lot of people that are doing this, they're doing a wash afterwards. I'm not planning on doing that, but we'll see. Again, I don't perceive to know it all. I've got what I do, works for me. Trying to make sure I'm not, you know, covering everything with green. I want there to be some depth. But again, that's the people that are doing this, that have done this white thing, normally they're washing afterwards with like a nun oil or something, so. You got any input on the dude's shirt? This jersey thing that he's wearing?
I want you to take full creative control and just create something awesome. Because like I said, Jed, honestly,
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how much I appreciate this. I love your art, and I'm going to enjoy sitting down and remembering tonight and us doing this every time I get to play with these guys. So I want it to be your art.
Well, Orks say red is fasta, so let's give him a red shirt. I know that's for vehicles anyway, but yeah, we'll see. So when I was trying to figure out a theme for these, I don't know why, but it just, well, first of all, shout out to the guy at Midwinter Minis, because I watched a video that he did a few days ago about a Imperial Guard army, and I guess the lore-wise, they're called Penal Guard. So I guess they're taking a bunch of people on death row or life sentence guys, and so he painted them all in like orange prison jumpsuits, which actually came out really cool. So I don't know what inspired me when I was looking at these guys to figure out what I was gonna do, but just to get uniformity in the squad here, I thought I'd do the yellow pants squad. So I just do them all with yellow pants. But we'll see. Yeah, a guy from Midwinter Minis on that Trader Guard video, he did, they had like these barcodes. Obviously these guys are prisoners, so it was kind of neat. He put like a barcode transfer on each of their shoulder pads and stuff, which is kind of a neat twist. You know, because you're probably just a number in that squad. Have like some cheeseburger drizzling down his shirt or something, you know, like whatever he had for lunch. Well, let me throw him back here. So just to kind of show what I did, I went in and I added some black to the Averland Sunset, and then just kind of painted in where there will be shadows, or where paint lines were, or you know, the lines of like the straps, the shadows of the shirt, shadow of the pants. I just went right in and I painted the pants this color for right now. I think I'm going to lighten them up, but who knows. I may just change the shirt color, but I just wanted to identify like what's clothing and what's you know, from what is a belt, a strap, a boot, a backpack. Just to get this baby started. Alright, so I'm jumping to the browns. So I am pulling out Mornfrang Brown Citadel. I'm going to use this along with some black. I'm going to use it straight, and I'll use it with some white so I can get some different colors of browns going on. I'd never done non-metallic metal painting, which is a thing. I've not done it yet, so I'm just going to use good old metallic paints. One of these days we'll work on it. I've actually never used an airbrush. I don't know if I told you, but I have a airbrush station out there and a brush and the whole setup, but never used it yet. All the years painting.
It's not broke, don't fix it though, right?
Some results, some of the paint you need to, you know, by looking at some of the fades and all that stuff. It's just, you can get stuff close if you really work on it, but definitely has some good results on it, depending on what you're painting and what you want to have happen.
So as you've probably heard me say a million times by now, when I make these videos, I really don't care about the game. I really want to focus on the arts and the people, because for me, getting to hang out with Chad that night and just watching him create art right in front of me, art that now I get to keep and play with for essentially the rest of my life, I think that's something special. And that's a connection that you don't get everywhere, but you do in tabletop gaming. So we do have a part 2 of the video that's going to be coming out soon. Chad's painting the rest of the army up now, and he's saving one last figure to do another video with. So we'll get some new tips, tricks, and updates to his technique and what he's done, and some more good conversations. So until then, stay safe.